Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Elizabeth, and on this channel we work on building your spiritual confidence so you can listen to your intuition and read your tarot cards with ease. And today we are going to be taking a deep dive into the Modern Witch Tarot by Lisa Sterle. I'm going to actually have a closer look at this deck and compare it to the Rider-Waite-Smith, because there are some fabulous interpretations of that deck in this deck that give you such a deeper understanding of the cards. I am so impressed with this deck, and I cannot wait to spin the camera around and just show you all of these cards and how fabulous they are. Let's go. So let's do an unboxing of this gorgeous deck by Lisa Sterle. I love this deck. I love it. It just has so many layers of meaning that it really makes, to me, the Rider-Waite-Smith come alive. So if you're looking for a deck to help you get that deeper understanding of the tarot, and that especially if you're someone that's learning, or you're a person like me who's been looking at the cards for a long time, this is the deck for you. So it comes in a gorgeous, I love a deck that has a good practical box, and this box is a fabulously practical box. On the back it says, Modern Witch Tarot is a magical take on traditional tarot symbolism, inspired by fashion and modern witches from every walk of life. Spark your imagination, seek your inner wisdom, and discover your true power. Absolutely everything. I agree with everything that says. So it's got like a sleeve, and the cards sit inside this sleeve. So you bring them out like that, and the card stock itself is really nice. It's a little bit shiny, so it slides, but it's not too shiny, and the cards aren't too thick. Sometimes cards I've actually bought have been too thick. They've almost gone the other way, that they didn't want to have a cheap deck, and they've got these really thick cards and with satin finish, and they just don't slide. So I'm very impressed with these. So here you've got, you are a badass, being full of life, love, and possibilities through this deck. May you find a path to your best self. And then there's the back of the cards, and you can see the back of the deck here. And if we look at the Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck, which is the deck I recommend you all get when you first start, because it's, well, the most famous deck in the world, and you really should know a lot about it. It just comes obviously in a normal cardboard box. And a little bit about Pamela Coleman Smith, because she was so forgotten. And you can see this is actually not the back. The US Games own these colours, if this makes sense. So often you'll see other Rider-Waite-Smith decks that are printed and they'll look slightly different. And that is because I believe US Games bought the original colours. But this is not the original back that they came with. They came with a back that was more this colour, and it had little boxes, and they were roses and lilies. You've probably seen the pattern out there in the stratosphere. And I've not come across a deck that has that pattern on the back. If I do, I'm going to snaffle it, because I would love to be able to have a deck that looks more as close to the original one as possible. And I still haven't actually, having said that, Pam's Vintage Tarot. You can see there's the pattern on the side, and I think, there's the original back. That's the original back. I don't know if it was that dark. I actually think it was more this colour. But that was the original back design with the roses and the lilies, which I don't know if any of you know, but W.D. Yeats, the poet, was part of the Golden Dawn, and sort of folklore has it that these roses and lilies were in deference to him. Something happened to him when I do my series on the history of the Golden Dawn and the history of the tarot, I'll talk a bit more about it, but something happened there where they wouldn't let him have his own deck, or they wouldn't let him design his own deck, and he had to use someone else's deck. I think he ended up using the Rider-Waite-Smith from memory. I'll have to go back and if any of you know anything about that, please leave a comment, down in the comments for me, because I read it somewhere. Something happened with him that I was a bit, it was a very political organisation, and I know that that McGregor Mathers, who was the Golden Dawn, was very funny about who could have the tarot and who could design a deck and all of that. Anyway, let's have a look at this deck. So what I'm going to do is show you the cards one at a time so we can compare them and have a look at them and the things that are sort of similar and the things that are different. So here we've got the spiritual journey is actually referenced in the mountains here. But in this deck, we're looking at leaving behind stress and care, which is indicated by the city behind. And rather than a man, of course, we're feminizing the deck because it's the modern witch tarot deck. But of course, there are men in this deck as well, so it's got nice balance. But you can see here, it's a take on the modern, the idea of only taking what you need with you. That we have to be connected to the world, but are we too connected? Do we need to perhaps step back a little bit? So you've got the same feeling as the Fool card, but with that slight edge, that difference of bringing in those modern complexities that perhaps weren't there when in 1909. Not that life wasn't complex, but life is perhaps complex in a different way now. Oh, I love this. I love her. I just love her. This idea of black women stepping into their power. I love it. I hope I'm being politically correct in saying that. I love her space buns. I love the idea that she's channeling the energy from sky to earth exactly the same way as the magician. And this idea that these themes, they're universal. They are absolutely universal in this deck, even though it's dated. And here we've got an interpretation that says, hey, what about thinking about who needs to channel their energy from sky to earth and why they need to do it? And the idea that perhaps we can think about this card as being more feminine rather than masculine. Oh, look. You've got the High Priestess here with her computer rather than her Book of Thoth. Again, the idea of the veil separating between the world, the unseen world, the unconscious world and the conscious world. The two pillars representing the feminine and masculine energy, Boaz and Jachin, which is the original Hebrew for he shall establish strength. But here you've got a much more modern iteration. She's almost, she's like she's dressed in nun's garb there, but we're giving it a bit of a empowered edge with the knee-high socks and the boots. I love it. The Empress, look at that, crystals. You've still got the symbol here of Venus, god of love. You've got the most gorgeous iteration of this with the nature behind. You've got this stream is like she's feeding the world its eternal life. I love it. I just love it. And here we've got this she's almost Black African, traditional Black African dress when you look at sort of the earrings and the necklaces. So going right back into like an earthy interpretation of the High Priestess and feminine power. Oh, I love these cards. The Emperor. Here we've got somebody more, to me, this is a man, but there's a feminine edge to him. So you're looking at balance between that masculine and that feminine energy, which we talk a lot about with this card. And again, repeating the red imagery. The Hierophant, again, this idea of the introduction of women into the clergy. I always think of this card as the boundaries card. So it's a card about thinking about traditional boundaries that are in your life and how you express those boundaries. How do you make things formal? How do you think about the traditional roles, the traditional expectations in your life, and how are you going to express those? The Lovers. Again, oh, isn't this interesting? So rather than looking upwards behind the tree of knowledge and the tree of life, we're facing it as a couple, head on. Very interesting. And it's interesting that that spirit looks away, that the angel looks away as the couple are more, there's almost a more of an empowerment in that card in terms of the empowerment of the relationship or the choice to be in a relationship. The Chariot, I love it. I love it. Oh, I do love that with the motorbike. Absolutely sensational. Again, masculine and feminine energy expressed in the spiritualism of the Sphinxes. Oh, Strength. I love these cards. Oh, goodness. We're going to be sitting here a little while I go through all of these. Absolutely beautiful. And isn't this interesting that here the interpretation of the card is she opens the lion's mouth, and the idea is that she's either opening the mouth or she's stroking him, she's controlling him. Here, there's something about her power that she's in contact with the lion, but the lion chooses to be subdued by her because she doesn't have to watch him. He's sitting there. She's got all the power in the world to control him. And like every woman, she can multitask and look to the next thing. The Hermit. Again, are we going to close the computer and step away and take some time out? Wheel of Fortune, very, very similar to the original card. Very similar. This symbolism, I'm taking you through the Rider-Waite-Smith symbolism. We haven't got to the Wheel of Fortune yet. I do have a set of cheat sheets in my Etsy shop, and I will put a link to those in the comments for you if you would like more information about the Wheel of Fortune. And then the 4 astrological signs of Aquarius, Scorpio, Leo, and Taurus. So you can see here, Aquarius is sometimes depicted as an angel, Scorpio sometimes as an eagle, Leo, of course, you can see the lion here, and Taurus, the bull. So here we've got just the symbols, and here we've got the actual images, but you can see that you're halfway through the major arcana. You're still learning. You've still got things to work through, and that's what's being depicted in this card. And you can see here the clouds. So the same idea of the wheel of life turning. Then Justice. Loving this. Again, such a modern shift in looking at the cards. The Hanged Man, I always think of the Hanged Man as looking at life from a different perspective. So taking time out and actually making the effort to try and change how you're thinking. Death, again, very, very similar, just modern alternatives to the people here in the card. And again, I've got a whole series that goes into the Rider-Waite-Smith in a lot more detail. Temperance, she dips her toe in the water, she's mixing and blending, she's coming to equilibrium, she's trying things out. The Devil, again, this idea of turning and facing your demons. And here they could just take the chains off if they wanted to and walk away. I love this idea of turning around in this deck. There's a real sense of empowerment. That's the second card we've seen that. The Tower, the Star, the Moon. Again, the moon is overactive imagination, and you can see here what's coming out of your unconscious and stirring things up. The Sun, the child on the pony, beautiful. Judgment, again, very similar. Perhaps a little bit more reflective of modern day body shapes. The World. And again, you can see here the astrological signs coming into full color because you're coming to the end of your progress, your journey, and this card represents your completion, your fullness of understanding, you have wisdom, you have your life's experience. Ace of Wands. Again, a female hand rather than a male hand. Oh, and of course, what else would you look in but your mobile phone for Two of Wands? What's ahead of you? What's behind? Three of Wands. I love her. Four of Wands, which is the great celebration of achievement. And again, we've got these cities behind, recognizing that this is our world now. Five of Wands. Rather than a whole lot of men fighting, a whole lot of women fighting, one of them's got a mask on. Six of Wands. Seven of Wands. Eight of Wands. Take action, maybe go on a journey. I love it. In your chariot. Nine of Wands. You're a bit battle worn. She looks like she could even be an Olympian there. Four-armed is forewarned is what I think of with that card. 10 of Wands. And I think it's very appropriate. The woman carrying the sticks. And she's so in it, she doesn't know that maybe she's doing things the hard way. Page of Wands. Oh, these cards are gorgeous. Knight of Wands. I'm going to be so interested to see the interpretations of these, Knight of Swords and things like that. Queen of Wands. The cat. She's made more of the cat. King of Wands. Oh, they're beautiful. Oh, Ace of Cups. Look at the Cups cards. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. Two of Cups. Three of Cups. Again, a modern version of women. Four of Cups. Again, very reflective of the original feeling of the cards. The fact that you're focusing too much on three things and not the things that you could be thinking about or that are offered to you. Five of Cups. Oh, they're so beautiful. Six of Cups. Again, looking back on childhood. Seven of Cups, choice. Eight of Cups. Be interesting to read the backgrounds to some of these cards and some of Lisa's thinking in putting these cards together. Just stunning. Some of them are just a modernization of the original deck. Nine of Cups. 10 of Cups. Page, whoops. Page of Cups. Knight of Cups. Oh, look, 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 she's like a mermaid. Queen of Cups. So you would find it, if you're a beginner, you would find, and you're just not connecting perhaps with Rider-Waite-Smith, you would find it very easy to connect with this Modern Witch Tarot journal, tarot deck, very easily. And King of Cups. Oh, I love the shell behind him. And the jumping fish. Fertility, emotion, creativity, ideas. King of Swords. Sorry, Ace of Swords. Look at that. Two of Swords. Three of Swords. Oh, look at this with the black blood. Oh, I love it. Four of Swords. That's interesting. She's hung all the swords up. So that's a slightly different meaning to this one. Because the sword, this is heart, head, and gut, and this sword represents what you are working through. So it's interesting. Five of Swords. Six of Swords, again, very similar ideas, just a modernization of the cards. Seven of Swords. I love this. Look, and she's got her seven swords and she's looking back at these two swords. She's looking back. Am I escaping? Am I getting away with it? Should I come back and should I pick up those extra two and really risk it, you know? Love that. Eight of Swords. Nine of Swords. I always think of this as the Nightmare card. 10 of Swords. Page of Swords. Knight of Swords. Oh, I love him. I love this card. I always refer to people thinking that the Knight of Swords is going to come and save them. And he is definitely on his white steed there, charging away. Queen of Swords, this is one of my favorite cards, and I'm not disappointed in what's been done with this. Absolutely beautiful. King of Swords. Ace of Pentacles. Beautiful drawings. Two of Pentacles. Again, a woman juggling life. Three of Pentacles. Oh, she's doing a life drawing. I love this. So you've got the student, the subject, and the teacher. So this idea that it takes an army, you need more than one person. You need people with specific skills to help you get to to where you need to be. This, I actually really love that interpretation. That's wonderful. Four of Pentacles, again, very similar. You're holding on too tight. Five of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles. So bringing things back into equilibrium. This is the idea of holding the scales, where you are, where you're the wealthy person and you're sharing your wealth with the poorer people. 7 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles, again, the more modern version, 9 of Pentacles, and 10 of Pentacles, where you are, you've come to the end. You've achieved everything you need to achieve, from youth to parenthood to a career to old age. Love it. Page of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, I didn't notice that one in the deck before when I had a quick look. Everything is just fine. And actually that card, although it can be interpreted, the 10 of Swords, as a stab in the back, a betrayal, it's also a card of endings. So if you have that card in a reading, it could be that what a person's going through, they're through the worst of it. Nothing more can happen to them, and this is it. It's finished. So yes, everything's fine. You're going to move on and everything will be just fine. And of course, there's a gorgeous little book in here that you can go through and will show you all of the meanings in deeper detail, based on what Lisa Sterle had intended for each one of the cards. So I love that deck. Absolutely stunning, stunning, stunning. And I will certainly be using this deck in one of my card a day challenges, I am sure. So look out for that. If you would like to be part of my free card a day challenge, don't forget to check the description box, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notifications bell so you never miss another one of my uploads. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.